Reading, the key to open the door gazing into our lives through F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. In life, we confront countless questions. How should we live? What constitutes a meaningful life? What does true love look like? To find answers to these questions, we sometimes learn through experience, sometimes listen to others' stories, and sometimes discover guidance in books. The word book might feel daunting or distant to you. A thick bundle of paper could seem dull and tiresome. However, books are not just simple collections of words. They are magical tools that allow us to indirectly experience someone else's life and encounter worlds we've never thought about. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a classic loved worldwide for ages. F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. Don't be intimidated by the term classic. This book transcends time with deeply human stories that move us. Rather than abstract theories or difficult philosophy, it vividly presents the lives, desires, love, and frustrations of characters, like watching a film, prompting us to reflect deeply on our own lives. If you feel a lack of knowledge or education, that's even better. This book has the power to make you reflect on yourself without needing any background knowledge. Let's now peel back the dazzling veil of The Great Gatsby and explore the true story hidden within. 1. Loneliness amidst the splendor. The beginning of the story and the main characters. The Great Gatsby is set in the jazz age of 1920s America. After World War I, the United States experienced unprecedented economic prosperity, and materialism and consumerism were rampant. People immersed themselves in lavish parties and endless pleasures, chasing the American dream ideal of success and wealth. However, behind this splendor, a deep sense of emptiness and moral decay loomed like a shadow. The story unfolds through the perspective of young Nick Carraway, who moves to the western suburbs of New York, West Egg, to study bond sales on Wall Street. By chance, Nick meets his eccentric millionaire neighbor, Jay Gatsby. Gatsby hosts extravagant weekend parties at his mansion, inviting numerous guests, yet the host himself remains a shadow, immersed in inexplicable solitude. No one truly knows Gatsby's past, and gossip about him abounds. As Nick begins attending Gatsby's parties, he discovers the real reason Gatsby hosts them: to reunite with his long-lost love, Daisy Buchanan. Daisy, who is also Nick's cousin, lives in the wealthy eastern suburb, East Egg, in a grand estate alongside her arrogant and violent husband, Tom Buchanan. In the past, Gatsby was a poor soldier, while Daisy was a beautiful girl from the upper class. They fell fiercely in love, but while Gatsby was away serving in the war, Daisy could not wait for him and married the wealthy Tom. Gatsby accumulated enormous wealth and threw lavish parties solely to reclaim Daisy and rekindle their past love. Nick helps facilitate Gatsby's reunion with Daisy, and Gatsby uses all his wealth and prestige to win back her love. However, time cannot be reversed, nor can hearts be bound to the past. Daisy struggles between Gatsby's pure love and her current affluent life. Ultimately, Gatsby's dream ends tragically, and Nick, having learned the truth about Gatsby, realizes the hidden human desires and the harsh realities of society masked by the splendor. Let us examine the main characters in more detail. Jay Gatsby, the protagonist and the center of all tragedy. Originally the poor son of a farmer named James Gatz, he discards his past, reinvents himself as Jay Gatsby, and accumulates great wealth. All his wealth and fame are solely to win back Daisy's love. He is a complex figure, simultaneously pure in his devotion to his dream and dark in his ruthless pursuit of it. Daisy Buchanan, the woman Gatsby has loved his entire life. She is beautiful and charming, but also weak, indecisive, and complacent in her material comfort. She fails to understand or acknowledge Gatsby's pure love and ultimately chooses her secure, wealthy world. Nick Carraway, the narrator and observer of the story. Nick objectively observes the world between East Egg and West Egg, the old money and new money, facilitating the story's progression. Initially captivated by Gatsby's glamour, he gradually witnesses the emptiness and moral decay beneath it, eventually developing a critical perspective. He becomes the eyes and ears for the reader. Tom Buchanan, Daisy's husband and Nick's friend. A wealthy, former football player, he is arrogant, racist, and violent. He is the biggest obstacle to Gatsby and Daisy's love, symbolizing the arrogance and moral decay of old money. Myrtle Wilson, Tom's mistress. The wife of a poor mechanic, she has strong aspirations for social climbing and dreams of a high-class life through her affair with Tom. She tragically exemplifies the conflicts and sacrifices between social classes. 2. Lessons from the Great Gatsby. Timeless messages. Through this brief narrative, Fitzgerald poses many questions and messages not only about 1920s American society but also timeless questions for us today. 2.1. The illusion of the American dream and the essence of dreams. The central theme of The Great Gatsby is the failure and illusion of the American dream. Originally, the American dream was a symbol of hope anyone can succeed through hard work. Gatsby, despite his humble background, accumulated great wealth, creating a new persona as Gatsby and dedicating his life to success. Yet Gatsby's dream was not wealth and success in themselves. All his efforts were focused on reclaiming his past love, Daisy. He believed he could win Daisy's heart with material wealth and reverse time. However, his dream was trapped by a specific person and an illusion of the past, inevitably leading to destruction. Daisy was not the ideal figure Gatsby imagined, and her materialistic and vain nature shattered his pure dream. This book asks us, what exactly is our dream? Does material success truly bring happiness? Are we chasing unrealistic fantasies disconnected from reality? Like Gatsby, are we perhaps ignoring the real limits and clinging to past glories or uncertain future illusions? This book challenges us to reconsider what we live for and what we should strive toward. 2.2. The wall between social classes and the frustration of social climbing. In the novel, West Egg and East Egg are distinctly contrasted. West Egg is where the newly rich, like Gatsby, live, while East Egg is home to the old money elite like Tom and Daisy. Despite his wealth and lavish lifestyle, Gatsby could never overcome the traditional and social barriers of East Egg's old money. Tom despises Gatsby's wealth as the money of a bootlegger. This book demonstrates the social class barriers that even hard work cannot overcome. The old money forms an exclusive world and never accepts new money as equal. Gatsby's tragic death highlights these insurmountable class divisions and the enduring social inequality regardless of wealth. This message remains relevant today. In our increasingly divided society with widening wealth gaps and difficulty in social mobility, can we still believe in the idea that hard work leads to success? 2.3. The line between love and obsession. Reality versus idealism. Gatsby's love for Daisy is pure and romantic but also becomes obsessive. He loves not the real Daisy, but the perfect image of Daisy he has created in his mind. He clings to the belief that the past can be reversed, rejecting the time that has passed since their first meeting. Yet love cannot reverse time, and ideals differ from reality. Daisy was not the pure, noble woman Gatsby imagined. She had grown accustomed to material comfort and displayed selfishness by not considering the consequences of her actions. In the end, Daisy abandoned Gatsby to seek safety with Tom, fearing the risks she had brought. This book asks us about the essence of love. Is it the other person's true self or an image we have fabricated? What is the difference between love and obsession? What outcomes arise when we refuse to face reality? These questions prompt us to reflect on our own relationships and emotions. 2.4. Hollow splendor and moral decay behind the glamour. The lavish parties and endless pleasures of the Jazz Age form an important backdrop in this book. Gatsby's mansion parties, while dazzling on the surface, are filled with an inexplicable emptiness. The people attending rarely know Gatsby genuinely, coming for pleasure or to bask in his reputation. They laugh and chat superficially but lack real connection or understanding. Moreover, most characters in the novel display moral decay. Tom's open infidelity, Daisy's irresponsible attitude, and Jordan Baker's cynicism and dishonesty symbolize the moral decline of the Jazz Age. Particularly, after the tragic events caused by Daisy and Tom, they avoid any responsibility, escaping as if wealth frees them from guilt and duty. Nick, witnessing this emptiness and moral decay, experiences profound disillusionment. This book asks us, does the pursuit of splendor and material wealth truly bring happiness? Is there emptiness hidden behind external success and fame? What happens to a society that loses its moral values? How indifferent are we to others' suffering? 2.5. The flow of time and nostalgia for the past. Gatsby is a man trapped in the past. He wants to recreate the beautiful past with Daisy. When Nick tells him, "You can't repeat the past," Gatsby fiercely replies, "Why, of course you can." He has a naive and reckless belief in reversing time. Yet time only moves forward. No matter how hard we try, the past remains in the past, and we must live in the present. Gatsby's obsession with Daisy might be due not only to love for her but also his nostalgia for a perfect past, the purity of his youth and dreams. This book challenges us to examine whether we are ourselves trapped by nostalgia for the past, hindering our ability to live fully in the present. While memories of the past are precious, if they hinder our current lives or prevent progress toward the future, we must bravely let them go. 3. Why must we read The Great Gatsby? For those hesitant to read classics due to perceived difficulty, The Great Gatsby serves as an excellent starting point to break down these barriers. It doesn't confuse readers with complex narrative styles or abstract ideas. Instead, it clearly portrays one man's intense love and dream, and the process of its collapse, guiding us to ponder the meaning of life ourselves. While living, we may encounter many Gatsbys. Perhaps we ourselves are the next Gatsby. People who blindly chase ideals, remain trapped by past moments, or feel deep loneliness despite a glittering exterior. We also see Daisies and Toms, those who exploit others for their own benefit or avoid responsibility, in the news or around us. Reading this book is more than simply following a story. By observing their lives through Nick Carraway's perspective, we deeply reflect on money and success, love and desire, happiness and misfortune, and the true value of life. Through this process, we can broaden our understanding of the world, gain insight into human nature, and perhaps find answers about the direction of our own lives. Despite its short length, The Great Gatsby is a work of immense density and depth. A single reading may not fully capture all its meanings. However, the important thing is not to strive to understand everything from the start. Simply immersing yourself in the story, empathizing with the characters' emotions, and finding connections between their tragedies and your own life is sufficient. The book ends with a lingering sentence: "We beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past." So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Like this line, we constantly strive toward the future, yet remain trapped by the shadows of the past or unfulfilled dreams. If you wish to experience the joy of learning about the world and reflecting on yourself through books, The Great Gatsby is the perfect choice. I sincerely hope this classic sparks new questions in your lives and serves as a spark to enrich your life through the journey of seeking answers. From the moment you open the book, a new story will begin in your own life.